Traders, welcome. Thanks so much for joining this Capitaliseai webinar exclusive for Eightcap traders. Before we begin, open up your chat boxes there, keep them open, and just send me a quick message that you can hear me and you can see my screen, and I'll get moving as soon as I get a few replies from some of you. So just let me know that you can hear me, you can see my screen. Okay, let's see, we got some replies here. Okay, Cheryl, welcome. John, thank you. Guys, we've got quite a few traders in the room today, so give me a few more and let me know where you are in the world if you want to. Nicholas, thanks. Let's see here, Marcel, let me know. Trevor, Wayne, Horace, Edward. Okay, Trevor. Let's see. Okay, don't worry, Trevor. Yeah, I'm just on a still screen here. I'm just looking. We're just going to go over. Actually, let me. Okay, Cheryl from Australia, welcome. And what we're going to do here today, traders, is we're going to look at backtesting and how backtesting can be used to help your portfolio, or to at least find strategies that are worth running. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go through this presentation. There's a few things in the presentation that you're going to need to know, and to keep in mind when you're backtesting. And I'm going to get through it as soon as possible. And I want you to hang in there because we're going to get into examples and rather into some practicals. And I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to backtest strategies in minutes. And then take those strategies and we'll try to optimize them. So we'll try to get better results. Just to mention, during this webinar, please keep those chat boxes open. If you have any questions, feel free to put them on. I will get to them. If you have any comments, please, put them on to the chat. I see we've got more people coming into the room here. So guys, anyone new, you're just in time. We're about to start. So yeah, let's go ahead and I will get to questions during this session and so on. So guys, my name is Josh. I head up customer success here at Capitalise. Again, thanks to everyone for joining. And today we're going to be looking at backtesting. We're going to be looking at applying a strategy or model to historical data to determine its accuracy. So we're going to discuss backtesting and how it can be used to improve and optimize your trading strategies. Most importantly, we're going to look at the limitations involved with backtesting. And then we're going to get into some practicals of it. So let's go straight ahead, and just a quick disclosure here for you to read. And just to reiterate today, we're going to look at what is backtesting, why are we backtesting, and most importantly, limitations of backtesting. We'll have 3 or 4 points to quickly discuss underneath, and then we're going to get into some strategies and creating some strategies and so on. So firstly, let's get into it. So what is backtesting? So in a trading strategy or investment strategy, backtesting seeks to estimate the performance of a strategy if it had been employed during a past period. It's the general method for seeing how well a strategy or model would have done ex post. Backtesting assesses the viability of a trading strategy by discovering how it would play out using historical data. And if backtesting works, traders and analysts may have confidence to employ the strategy going forward. Firstly, let's get into our next category, and that is why are we backtesting? And the first one is to prove that our strategy works. Through backtesting, you can test multiple strategies across multiple markets, and with that information, devise an entirely new profitable trading plan. Backtesting allows you to collect mass amounts of data and information about your strategy in a short time period. And by backtesting historical data, it allows you to witness how your plan would have theoretically performed had you been trading it in the past. And with this information, you can objectively observe whether your trading plan would have been profitable or not in these markets. And you should be able to tell, let's say, within 50 to 100 tested trades, whether or not the strategy you plan to use is viable. So, if my strategy has a reasonable drawdown and, let's say, a satisfactory return over a large sample size of trades, then I know with confidence that it's worth my time attempting to execute this on live markets. Through testing, we can determine roughly what to expect when our strategy encounters a period of consolidation, or a trending market, a reversing market, or even a period of high volatility. And this can help us improve future trading decisions. And as traders, we need to take advantage of every opportunity to enhance our and maintain our edge. So firstly, is to prove our strategy works. Secondly, to optimize our approach. Through backtesting trading strategies, you can painlessly determine whether a strategy is for you or not without losing any money in the process. If you test a strategy, let's say with over 50 trades, and it returned, let's say 120%, but at one point the account balance drew down, let's say 30%, then you may not want to trade it. But someone who's more aggressive might love a strategy like that. Or you find a strategy that returns 60%, but only had, let's say, a 5% max drawdown. So you decide it's not unreasonable to double your position on that. Or perhaps, let's say, you find a strategy that works great and you're comfortable, you're almost comfortable trading it, but you notice it doesn't perform very well during consolidation. So through backtesting, you can identify your strategy's flaws and introduce new filters that increase its potential returns and reduce its drawdown. The third one out of fourth is to create trading ideas. Most of the trading ideas that I currently trade with were not ideas, that I had formed clearly in my head. I discovered these strategies today while testing other strategies. Some of those strategies worked, but didn't exactly suit my risk appetite. Other strategies didn't work, but by adjusting a few parameters, you can get completely different results. So, backtesting is like a mirror to reality. You might have the best trading idea in the world, but if you backtest it over, let's say, 100 trades and it's not profitable, chances are it's not going to suddenly start working. Likewise, if you come up with a clever idea that you think maybe doesn't work, you may be surprised to discover that through backtesting, the strategy actually does. So with backtesting, you can come up with an idea, then put it through the grinder, and whatever comes out is what you pay attention to. This feedback loop allows you to tweak and perfect your approach until you find a set of filters, rules, or as we at Capitalize call conditions that work. And we're going to go into how we can tweak and perfect our approach. Hopefully we'll manage to optimize some strategies during the session. Then onto the last point on why we're backtesting, is to develop sincere confidence. Unless you're a veteran trader with many years of consistently profitable trading under your belt, you need a backtest. Any confidence you have in a strategy is naive without backtest. Until it's stood the test of fire in live markets, you have absolutely no clue how it's going to perform. So if you start a strategy and let's say you lose 5 trades in a row, is it any surprise that you feel distress? Absolutely not. You'd be mad if you didn't. If you haven't backtested your strategy and your strategy loses 5 trades in a row, you should definitely be concerned, because who's to say it won't lose, another 20 in a row? However, on the other hand, if you had backtested the strategy over a large sample size and personally witnessed it, let's say, lose 10 trades in a row and still come out the other end profitable and unscathed, then losing 5 trades in a row wouldn't bother you very much, even though it's an uncomfortable, unpleasant experience. You'd know full well that you have, let's say, at least 6 more trades or losing trades to take before you should become genuinely concerned, about the strategy you're running. But the only way you'd actually know that is if you backtested in the first place. So don't underestimate the power of backtesting. It is boring, it is monotonous, and hardly any trader enjoys it. But success in life requires work, and backtesting is work. And I'm going to show you how you can do this work the right way, and make things a lot easier for yourself. So those are the four main points on why we're backtesting. Let's move ahead to limitations. This is very important to keep in mind and to think of when you're backtesting your strategy. Limitations, this requires simulating past conditions with sufficient detail, making one limitation of backtesting the need for detailed historical data. Detailed historical data with real-time market activity. There are millions of messages flowing in from real-time prices, book depth, orders, cancellations, and so much more. So when performing a backtest, one needs to decide on the granularity of the data set. The more detailed it is, the higher the processing times and costs, whereas fewer data presents the risk of failing to realistically represent the results. And we'll go into the type of data that we use and Capitalize as soon as we get into our examples, and we're almost done with this. The second limitation is market effect. So it's the inability to model strategies that would affect historic prices. When running a backtest simulation, none of our simulated actions have an effect on the markets. Thus, a backtest cannot represent use cases in which our actions would actually affect market behavior. The example, the effect of a very large short order on a specific stock. And then just the last limitation, this is very important when optimizing your strategies to keep in mind, is overfitting. We run the potential of overfitting when we decide on our trading scenarios and adjust its parameters. What we might inadvertently do is overfit our criteria to the historical data set at hand. And a possible solution for such a scenario is to test a strategy on multiple instruments and data sets. And I'm going to go through this as well, and how quickly and easily you guys can take a strategy and backtest it over different assets. Great. So let's see what we got here. We got rules for backtesting to keep in mind. So first one, take into account the broad market trends in the time frame a given strategy was tested. For example, if a strategy was only backtested from, let's say, 99 to 2000, it may not fare well in a bear market. The second one is take into account the universe in which the backtesting occurred. So if a broad market system is tested with a universe consisting of tech stocks, it may fail to do well in different sectors. As a general rule, if a strategy is targeted towards a specific genre of stocks or currencies or commodities, limit that strategy to that genre. The third one is, the average gain-loss statistic combined with wins-loss ratio can be useful in determining optimal position sizing, and we're going to go into that as well. And then the last one is backtesting is not always the most accurate way to gauge the effectiveness of a given trading system. Sometimes strategies that performed well in the past fail to do well in the present. And as always, past performance is not indicative of future results. So be sure to paper trade a system that has been successfully backtested before going live, to be sure the strategy still applies in practice. And I'm going to show you how you can do that as well, how you can backtest, you can paper trade on Capitalize, and then you can automate it and run live. And you can do that all on the Capitaliseai interface. So let's just see, I think this is our last slide. Backtesting accomplishes three things. It shows if a strategy performs well in pairs when it's supposed to, and vice versa. It provides an understanding of how the strategy performs in different markets. And number three, it produces insights on how the strategy might be improved upon. And with that, traders, just for anyone new, Capitaliseai enables traders, regardless of their coding knowledge or experience, to create, backtest, simulate, and automate their trading strategies in freestyle text in everyday English. and we're going to get in now, and we're going to create some strategies. Just if you need, you can contact us at support@Capitalise.ai. We've also got Twitter, and then we've got a whole range more of platforms that you can socialize with us, and I'll show you all of them as soon as we get on the platform. Great. So traders, let's get into it. We did well with that. Took us 12 minutes to get through, and we can go ahead now. And we're going to go into Capitalise.ai. And just for anyone new, if you're looking to log into Capitalize, it's free with Eightcap. So once you set up your MT4, you can use a demo or a live. You use your MT4 credentials to actually log in here. You can just go to eightcap.capitalise.ai, and I'll show you an easier way or an easier place at where you can. Or you can find all the login details. But let's go ahead here and log in. Okay, let's see if I've got any questions while we're at it. Guys, feel free to pop the questions while we're going through this. We're going to be creating some strategies now. And if you guys have any assets you perhaps want me to create a strategy with, we might have time to add it in there as well. So let's go ahead here. Okay, so we're on the Capitaliseai platform here. Let's just check that out. Okay. And just for anyone new, if you're having any issues or you need help creating strategies or anything like that, you can get us here on the in-app chat. You can send us a message here. Then on the left-hand menu bar here, you can navigate anywhere and everywhere on Capitalize. The first page you'll see is your live examples page. This is for some inspiration for any traders that are not sure of the strategies that they want to run. You can have a look here, and you can also use as a template, view performance, and so on. But firstly, we're going to go ahead to create new strategy, and whatever strategy you're trying to create, whether it's with fundamental analysis like an economic calendar or technical indicators like an RSI MACD, price levels, price action, volume, volatility, candlestick patterns, or you can even trade directly from a price chart, and it's all created here in everyday English. So we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and create our first strategy. And what are we going to do it with? Let's go ahead, and if you guys have any ideas of assets that you'd like to perhaps use for the strategy, put it onto the chat. Let's see, Wayne is asking, does MT5 work with Capitaliseai? Not at the moment, Wayne. We're working on integration, but at the moment you can just set up an MT4 account and go ahead. You can use MT4 and MT5. And if you want to try, you can go ahead with just create a demo for MT4 and just get going with it for the moment, and then go live, and we'll keep you updated. We'll update you on all new feature releases and all of that on your in-app chat here. Okay, let's see here. We've got some suggestions here. Colin, you're wanting, okay, XAU, you guys, I got quite a lot of suggestions there, but the first one that came through, okay, Colin, we're going to go with XAU USD gold. So let's go ahead and just create a strategy. Let's see the results, and let's just try better it from there. So for the first one, let's go ahead and say, okay, let's look for a moving average. So let's go ahead and say, if gold moving average, let's go ahead with a 9, and we'll use here, let's say a 15-minute close, so we can get some hits here. Crosses above, let's say XAU USD, moving average. And let's go ahead and, I don't know, let's use just a 21. Let's use a 15-minute close. And you saw, anytime you select an indicator, you can change the parameters on the tooltip above. So that's our first condition there. Let's not go with just one condition. Let's add another one. So let's go, and if, let's say XAU USD, let's go with a different time frame as well. We'll stick with a technical indicator on this strategy. So we'll go with an RSI. what should we use here? We used 15 minutes last time. Let's go with a 1 hour and see what we get. Let's say is below 65, then buy 10 XAU USD. And that's our entry here. And again, you can add as many conditions as you want, and maybe, you know, we'll get to some later strategies where we'll try add a few more conditions into each one. But here we're looking for a short moving average to cross over a long moving average, a 9 to cross over a 21, and we're looking for an hour RSI to be below 65. So let's go ahead and click next. And just like your exit, just like your entry, you can close the position with anything, including a take profit, stop loss, trailing take profit, trailing stop. And that's the whole thing with optimizing your strategies, is to try different strategies by tweaking either the entry or either just the exit. So let's go ahead, and for our first one, let's just close the position simple. Close position at, let's say, profit of, what should we do, 6%, or loss is, let's say, 4%. And we can go ahead and click next. And that's all there is to creating your strategy. It's an entry and an exit. You can name your strategy here if you want. If you don't, we'll give it a name. Here you have your entry conditions, your exit conditions. We have our entry action. And then below here, we have our backtest, and you can run it live. I'm connected to a demo account. So if I run live, it's basically going to run off my demo account. And you can connect a demo and your live account to Capitalize. So let's go ahead and get this backtest started. So we're going to quickly look at this backtest. Let's see what results we do get out of here, and let's see if we can better the results. Let's hope the results are not too great from our first strategy, because it's always harder than to better it. You know, we were talking in the presentation about limitations, and the first one was the type of data being used. So just so you know, our backtest uses 1 minute data. Basically, we're looking at the open, high, low, and close of each minute bar, and we're running the strategy through that. So we're using 1 minute granularity, which is different from our live strategies, which are using live tick data, updated, you know, multiple times per second. So you just got to keep that in mind. If you've got a very high frequency strategy that's, you know, entering and exiting within minutes of each other, the entry and the exit, you may want to be very careful with backtesting on a 1 minute on 1 minute data. However, most of your strategies will be able to run on 1 minute data, and you should get fairly accurate results from it. So let's go ahead and look at our backtest. You can see here it tests for 90 days previous, basically 3 months. We're already looking at longer backtest, time adjusted backtest, and stuff like that. Here we have 5 hits. So basically 5 trades have occurred. This condition's been met 5 times in the last 3 months. You can see here we have a total P&L of 5.97%. Because we loop the strategy, it will run indefinitely. Every time it finishes one cycle of an entry and exit, it's going to start the next cycle and the next cycle. So here you can actually limit the amount of trades you want to take, and you can do this on your live strategies as well. And then here you have run live, and here's your control panel. You can run live, you can run, edit the backtest, clone, rerun, and get a shareable link. And I'm going to come back to clone in a moment, because this is how we're going to optimize our strategies. So let's take a look at our strategies that we got here. At the strategy page rather first. We have our entry that we typed out, moving averages, crossover, and we're looking at an RSI. You notice that we are using different time frames. It's okay, you can mix and match and capitalize. And then we've got our exit, where we're closing the position at 6% or loss of 4%. Then here is your hit chart. This represents every trade that would have been taken in the last 90 days. And if you move your mouse pointer over one of them, for example here, we can see some information. For example, this was hit 2, it returned 6.2% on a trade of 10 gold. you would have made roughly around $1,181. And you can also see the lowest and the highest point the trade reached during the time it was active. Now, if you want to see some more information, for example, execution price, execution time on hit 2, you can find that on the notification panel here. This contains every trade, and each trade has 2 cards, one exit, one entry. Exit always at the top. So if we just scroll down, we're going to see hit 2's exit shortly. There it is. And then we'll see hit 2's entry just below that. So we can see here that hit 2 would have entered on 25th February at 12 a.m. Execution around 1906.29. It would have exited roughly 2 weeks later, 2:38 p.m. at 2024. And then below here you have your winning and losing ratio. We have 2 hits that are winning, each at 1134, and then we have 2 losing hits, each at 81655. Some of you may notice that we only have 4 hits here and we have 5 hits in total. You're going to see this in backtesting, and the reason is because the last hit here, which would have entered on the 16th, hasn't closed yet. Okay, great. So traders, let's go ahead now, and what we've got here is, let's just see. Okay, I have got questions coming through. I will get to them, guys. Keep putting your questions on. So what we managed to achieve here is 5.97%. And what we want to do is now either tweak the entry or tweak the exit to try optimize the strategy, and then we obviously want to go ahead and paper trade it. So what we're going to try do with the first one is we're going to try optimize the exit. We're going to try change the exit to get different results and see which one works best for us. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go over to my control panel here, and I'm going to select clone. Clone is a simple copy and paste. It's not going to do anything to the strategy we created. I'll show you where we can find these in a moment. It's just going to bring it up into the wizard so we don't have to type it out again. And we can go ahead and click next, and what we're going to do is work on different exits here. So we're going to go ahead and say, okay, let's close position. Okay, let's start with like the MA. The entry was the 9 MA is crossing above. I want the exit to be if XAU USD EMA crosses below. So I'm going to look for the short EMA, basically the opposite, and we're using 15 minutes there. EMA crosses below XAU USD EMA, and I think we're using okay, 21. So let's go again with the 21. Okay, so that's going to be our second exit. We're just going to look for the EMA to cross below, and I'm going to go ahead and click next, and I'm going to backtest. And traders, while you're backtesting, you don't have to stay on the pages. You can go ahead and create other strategies and let them finish. So while this is running, I'm going to go ahead to my control panel. I'm going to clone, and then I'm going to try another exit. And this is a great way for you to see how different exits would work with your strategy. So this time, let's try close position. Let's try a trailing stop. We haven't done that yet. So we'll try a trailing stop of, let's say, 2%. We can go ahead here and backtest. And you can see once you get the hang of it, you can actually backtest a lot of strategies really quickly. So the third one that we're doing now, let's go ahead and use, what are we going to use? We use take prop. Okay, let's look at the RSI crossing above 75. Okay, so let's go ahead and say close position if XAU USD RSI. Oh, yeah. So if you guys get anything wrong, you'll see red come up, and you can just go back and fix it. So here we're using RSI 14, 1 hour close, crosses above 75. And then let's go ahead and do one more. So we're going to have quite a few now to look at. And let's see if one of them, if we were able to, you know, at least optimize our strategies with one of them. And for our last one, let's go with a trailing take profit. So we're going to want to lock in our profit as soon as we get there. So let's go at trailing take profit. And what are we going to aim for here? Let's aim for 4% profit lock-in with 1% trail will allow. We can go ahead and click next and backtest. Okay, so traders, we've set up now, what have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different exits with the same strategy. And what we can do is we can actually go check everything on we can go check everything on the My Strategy page here. This is where you can see all of your strategies, all of your live, all of your stops, and all of your back tests. You can also control them from here as well. So let's go have a look and see what we've got with our back test. Okay, let's see. Where was the first? The first one we ran was 5.97% of 5 hits. It's a very small size there, but that was with profit and loss. Then we tried with just the opposite of the entry, the EMA, gave us a lot of hits, 103 hits at 0.91%. We then tried with a trailing stop of 2%, which gave us 12 hits at 6.04%. We then went with the RSI crossing above. That gave us 8 hits at 8.34%. And our trailing take profit actually came, okay, this is great. So our trailing take profit actually worked. We managed to lock in the profit there, and we've managed to better our strategy from our first one of just under 6% up to 10%. So this may be worth trying to paper trade. And that's easy with Capitalize. I'm connected to a demo now, so I think this one I want to run, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to my control panel, and again, I'm going to clone it. And it's going to bring the strategy up onto the wizard, and I'm going to go ahead and click next. And I'm going to keep it the same because the backtest looked good, and now I'm going to run it on my account, on my demo account. And then you can actually see after a couple of days, okay, is this performing as the backtest suggested? And if it is, well, you should have the confidence to at least try it, running it on a live account. Okay, great. Traders, you're being really quiet there. If you have any questions, you just let me know on the in-app chat. Okay, so we managed to actually get better results out of that, which is great. Let's go ahead now and create another strategy, and let's see what we can get out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and create new strategy here, and let's go with. What should we go with? Let's go with a currency now at the moment. And let's go ahead and we'll just go with euro dollar. Let's not only talk about the price, but let's talk about a 1-minute bar close. Crosses below, or let's say, you know what? Let's use crosses above the upper Bollinger Band. And here, what should we use? Okay, 15-minute worked well for us in the last one. Let's go with 15 minutes. Then let's sell 10,000 euro dollar. And that's going to be our entry for our second strategy. We'll just use one condition for this one, and then the next one we'll do 3 or 4 conditions, and we'll see if we can better it. So here we're just going to look for one condition. We're only going to look for the euro dollar 1-minute bar to cross above the upper Bollinger Band 15 minutes, and then we're going to sell 10,000 euro dollar. Let's go ahead and click next. And let's go ahead and start here. So let's close the position. Okay, let's start with profit and loss. So let's say profit per unit of euro dollar is 40 pips, or if loss per unit of euro dollar is, let's say 40 pips as well. We'll just go with the same. And we're going to go ahead here and click, and we're going to go ahead and backtest this one. Okay. And while this is running again, I'm not going to stay here because we want to try to get through as many strategies as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and simply clone the strategy and try it with different exits now. So let's go ahead and try it with, okay, we're going to keep the entry as is. Okay, let's leave the profit and loss. Let's go for a trailing stop. A trailing stop, let's say of 0.5%. Maybe it's too much, but let's just try and see what happens. Backtest. Then let's go ahead and I'm going to clone the strategy again so we can create another one straight away. And this time let's try with a trailing take profit. We're using currencies here, so what do we want to do here? Okay, let's go with 0.5% profit and let's trail that by 0.1%. And let's go ahead and click next. We go ahead and backtest. And let's try one more, and then let's have a look at the results and see what we get, see if we've managed to better it at all. So we can go ahead here and what are we going to do here? Oh, you know what? Let's do the middle Bollinger Band, seeing as we use the upper Bollinger Band for the entry. Let's exit. Let's say close position if euro dollar, let's say bar. I don't want to use the price. I want the bar to actually close, to cross below. So let's say we're using a 1 minute close. Let's say crosses below euro dollar middle BB. Okay, and we'll use here 15 minutes. Okay, so let's run that. And let's go ahead and backtest this. And while we're waiting for these results here, traders, I just want to quickly put up a poll. If you guys don't mind taking 30 seconds to you know, just answer it. I'm going to have it up for 30 seconds, and then we're going to have a look at the strategy. So, guys, the first question is, what account type are you using for trading? Are you using a live account? Are you using a demo account, or you haven't opened an account yet? And okay, we've got quite a lot of voting going on. This is great. Wow. 10, almost 15 seconds in, I've already got 60% of you have voted. This is great, guys. So I'm going to give it perhaps another 20 seconds. And I can tell you that the majority of traders in the room are using a live account, with about 30% using demo account, which is great. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of traders that are using live accounts also running some demo accounts to try different things on. And that's the best thing. You can actually connect your live account and your demo account to Capitalize. So, you know, you can test things on your demo account before going live with it. Guys, thanks so much. That was great. Thank you so much for participating in that. So let's go ahead and look at our strategies and what we came out with here. So let's see here. Wow, these are really coming out nice today. Okay, so the first one was with 40 pips. I got 85 hits at about 422. The trailing stop gave us about 4.52%. The trailing take profit gave us 10 hits at 4.98%. I really do like that. You know, taking 40 less trades than the trailing stop did and getting just above this. And this gives you a really good idea of how different, you know, features would work with trading and perhaps with your strategy, and how it could help your strategy. Let's see. And this one is still running. This has got a lot of hits. I do like to see backtests with a lot of hits, but we're well below where we should be here, with the trailing take profit, even with just the simple take profit per unit or a loss per unit there. Okay, this is actually climbing at the moment. And while this is running, I just quickly, let me see, some questions are coming through here. Okay, Wayne, you're asking if this is recorded. Yes, it is, and you'll be able to watch the webinar. If you can't find it, you can always just chat with us on the in-app chat here, or you can just go to the link where you registered for this webinar and you'll be able to watch it there. Let's see here, some other questions. Okay, Horace has got a great question here. So Horace is asking, can we call upon the open price of the 1 hour candle that closes, I take it, above the previous session that you're looking for? Most certainly you can. So Horace, you can, whatever you can describe, if you can describe what you're looking for, you can put it into Capitalize and get it to run. And if you're trying to get a strategy to work there and it's giving you that red writing and it's not working, chat with us straight away on the in-app chat and we'll point you to the right direction. Okay, great. That's all I'm going to do for now, guys. Let's just have a look here. Okay, so we managed to take 182 trades here and we got 4.47%. So look, we actually managed to better it slightly. We went from 4.22 to 4.52 to 4.98. The hits are actually better. So you're taking less trades here. While we're here, I want to try one more actually. So I want to clone this last one that we did. And instead of crosses below, let's have a look at if something changes when we go, let's say if Euro USD bar, we're going to go with the 1 by 1 minute close is below, let's say EUR USD middle. We're using a middle BB. We're using a 15-minute here close. Let's say buy at least 0.1115. Let's go. Let's see if we can get a better result here. Okay, and we're going to let this run. I think we're trying to, I can't even remember now what we're trying to get. I think it was about 4.9 was our best result from there. Let's just have a look here. 4.98 here with our trailing take profit, which locks in profit and then trails. Excuse me, my apologies. And then here we had 4.52 and here we had 4.22. So let's see if we can get a better result by using perhaps a lower level just below the lower Bollinger Band, so the middle Bollinger Band. So we're not looking for just the crossover, we're looking for it to get to a bit of a lower level there. And while this is running here, guys, let me take the opportunity again just to put up another quick poll. It's really helpful for us for what you guys are looking for, and for the the content we put out there and the new features that we release and so on. So for our next poll, let's quickly go ahead and launch it. So guys, if you can just quickly see the poll that's on the screen here, and it's how frequently do you place a trading order? Is it less than 1 order per month on average, between 1 to 5, between 6 to 25, or are you trading more than 25 orders per month? This is great, guys. We got a lot of people voting. Thank you so much for your input in this. It just makes the webinar so much better. And I'm sure we're going to have the strategy completed afterwards. So let's see here. Okay, I'm going to let it run for another 5 seconds. We've got about 70% of the votes in. So, okay, more than half of the traders in the room today. We got a lot of traders in the room today. Actually, closer on 60% are trading more than 25 orders per month, and about 30% are between 6 and 25. So that's great. Thanks, guys. I'm going to close that off. And let's have a look at, okay, look at the difference here that this strategy makes. These two here in particular. These two are using almost the same exit. The only difference is one is crossing the middle BB and one has to be below the middle BB by 0.15%. On this one here, we took 100 less trades and we managed to get at least, you know, an extra 2% in there. So this is definitely something I would look to use. It's got a nice sample size. The trailing take profit, you know, it's very small sample size, good results, but small sample size. This is a really nice sample size to look at. So I'm going to go ahead here and clone it. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it. It's going to run on my demo account because this is connected to my demo. And I'm going to go ahead and run. So we've got two systems that we've back tested, we've optimized, we found better results, and now we're going to run them. Great. So traders, we're going to run. Okay, no, we've got a couple minutes left, so we can do one more strategy, and I think we should get into that right away. Let's just see if I've got any more questions coming through before we do. Ollie, you're asking, do you need to have Bollinger Band on your chart when using the strategy? No, not really. I mean, we're monitoring the market. So if you want to check that the trades are correct and the positions and all that, yeah, you can check it on a chart. But most certainly, we're monitoring the markets all the way. And Ollie, you actually bring up another point where once you traders have these strategies running, you don't have to keep Capitalize open. You don't even have to have Eightcap open. They will automatically execute in the background. Great question there, Ollie. So let's go ahead, traders. I think we've got time for one more strategy, I think. So let's go ahead and quickly do one, and what are we going to use with this one? Let's go ahead and test this. Okay, let's go ahead with a few conditions here and see what we do. So the first condition we're going to use is, let's look what should we go for here? Oil? Okay, let's go for, spot light crude oil. Oh, and Ollie, if you want a chart to look at, you can always check out the trading view chart below here. You can add indicators and so on. So you can check everything here. Okay, let's go ahead and say, okay, if the price of crude, let's say, is below, let's say, oil or spot, there we are. Spot oil, let's just look at an EMA for this one, exponential. And here, let's go with something like a 200, 5-minute close. Let's hope this brings something. Okay, that's our first condition. So firstly, we're looking for the price to be below the EMA. Then let's look for some price action. So let's say, and if, let's say spot light crude oil, let's say 3x5 min bar change is negative. Okay, so that's our price action there. And then let's look for some increased volatility. So let's say, and if spots, let's go with a 1-minute ATR. And let's say if the 1-minute ATR is greater than spot, let's go for a 10 by 1 minute bar ATR with an offset of 1 bars. And if you guys want to learn about offsets and building candlestick patterns and historically defining indicators, you can check out our last webinar where we went over candlestick patterns and so on. Then let's say by 20, let's go for spot. I put buy there twice, so that's not going to work. By 20 spots. There we are. Okay, great, perfect. So that's our entry, and we got 3 conditions. We're looking for the price to be below the EMA. We're looking for some price action on the 3x5 minute bar change, and we're looking for increased volatility. And again, we're going to set up our exit positions. We're going to tweak them. So let's start with a trailing stop here of 2%. I'm going to go ahead here and click next, and we can backtest. And again, I'm not going to wait for this to run. I'm going to quickly get moving so we can see if we can get better results. Okay, then let's go and have a look at, let's try a trailing take profit with this. And here, what should we set? Let's set a 4 and 1%. You can go ahead and backtest. Then let's just try a take profit with this one. We're not going to go into too much here. Let's just try close position at a profit of, let's say, 4% or loss is 2%. And backtest, and let's see what we get out of this. Let's see if we can find a suitable exit to use for the strategy. And again, I'm going to go to the My Strategy page. Okay, and then we'll have a look at these strategies, and let's see the results that are coming out of it. So let's see here. Oh wow, okay. So here's our 3 that we got here. So in this one we'll just use a closed position at a trailing stop of 2%. Wow, that's already up to almost 20% there. Oh, maybe I shouldn't speak too soon, actually. We should just let these run. You know what I want to do while these are running? Instead of using a profit of 4% and a loss of 2%, let's just create one more and use equal amounts. So let's use a profit of 4% and a loss of 4%. Let's see if that works. And the loss is 4%. And let's go and backtest, and that's hopefully we'll get a really good idea from one of these. And then we can go ahead and paper trade. Well, I'm going to run it live on my demo account. So those are the 2 that we've created already today to run. Okay, let's see here. That was up, actually. That was up by almost 20%, and it came down. Okay, so that's still running. We got quite a lot of hits on there. The trailing take profit gave us 9 hits at 14%, so that's actually looking pretty good. The 4% profit and the 2% loss is running okay. Okay, let's see which one of the best come through here. And guys, we've got a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to let this run out, and I'm going to take the best one and paper trade, run it on my demo. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them on the chat now, and I can try to get to them as quick as possible. And again, if you have questions that perhaps you don't want publicly put onto the webinar, you can always get us at eightcap.capitalize.ai. Even if you haven't logged in yet, you'll still have the in-app chat at the bottom right-hand corner, and you can always get hold of us there to ask some questions. So let's have a look here. What do we get on the first one? So the first one completed at 6.89%, 151 trades. It's probably not what I want to look at. This one here, close position at trailing take profit. We're locking in profit at 4% with a 1% trail at 13.99%. That's actually looking the best so far. With the 4% profit, 2% loss, 75 hits at 11.84%. And oh yes, okay, we managed to get a better one. I actually like this one. This has got a decent sample size, 40 trades in the last 3 months. Made us 16.83%. And this is definitely something I'd want to paper trade for a little while now before going live with. So I'm going to clone the strategy, and I'm going to turn it into I'm going to run it live on my demo. I like the sample size there. Okay, and then we're going to see what we have here. Let's see. Okay, some few questions coming in. Horace, Horace is asking, can we have 2 entries? It depends. Of one strategy, you can buy multiple, you can have multiple entries, although it's best to have a strategy for each of the currencies or, assets that you're trying to trade. Andrew. Okay, Andrew's got a great question here. Is the profit or loss percentage based on the trading account? Yeah, it should be. So you should be able to correlate those two, no problem. Great, traders. That's all the time we have for today. Please feel free to come to our next webinar. I think it's next month. We're going to be going over TradingView and how to use TradingView on Capitalize, how you can automate any trading strategy that you want from TradingView on Capitalize. Also, sign up for Capitaliseai. We run every day a demo session where you can jump on. We go through the platform, the exact workings, answer questions, and create strategies that you had in mind. Guys, a big thing. I may not have mentioned this earlier, but my name is Josh. I know it says Tom on the webinar page, but my name is Josh, and I head up customer success here. So you can chat with me here on the in-app chat, and hopefully see you in my demo sessions run every day. Guys, thank you so much for joining. For myself and the team here at Capitalize and the team at Eightcap, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next session, and have a great week ahead, and whatever you're doing, stay safe.